Well, the plant doctor, anyways, we got a huge response when we asked you if you have any sick plants out there that you need help with. Dr. Carson is here to help us all out. This is wildly popular because, well, I'm not the only plant killer in Canada.
It's true.
That makes me so happy.
So, as embarrassing as it is, I threw it out to my friends on Facebook. I had more than 500 responses before I had to take the post down saying, I can't help everybody.
I can't do it anymore.
So we're going to talk about the worst offenders.
Okay, good. What do you want to start with? They're all pretty sickly.
Yeah. All of these are salvageable at some point. But I want to start with orchids.
Yes.
Because actually a studio audience member even said to me, my orchid doesn't bloom anymore. So I want to talk about orchids really quick. Now, orchids bloom once every 6 to 8 months. Okay, that's it. Stop, done, end of story. But here's the thing. Inside the orchid are the roots, okay? The roots are like a battery. You have to think of charging the battery. The leaves are like solar panels that charge the battery. It takes 6 months of sunlight on the leaves to get enough energy in the roots to put up a new flower.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when you're saying, oh, it doesn't bloom, you just got to give it time.
Oh, so you have to sit this in the window and get it to get the sun, and it's going to come up every 6 to 8 months?
Yeah, that's how long.
That's a lot of work. I mean, it's pretty.
Well, it's green, but it's a big commitment. So if you're going to buy an orchid and you want to keep it, 6 to 8 months, you got to wait. Okay,
good to know.
All right, so let's talk about this little jade plant. Because this was a rescue, and I thought this was amazing. I heard this story about this little plant being neglected and left behind. But the owner wanted to know what these little white spots are, and I'm going to show you right here. See the little white spots all over the leaves?
Yes.
Everybody's like, oh, is that sickly? Is that disease? Is that powdery mildew? The truth is, jades are notorious for taking salt out of the soil, and this is how they secrete it. So it's just on the pores. So it's the minerals coming out of the soil on the plant. But you can see the plant's all wrinkly. Yeah. Right? It got neglected so long that it's starting to die. So the owner of this plant said, hey, I can water it and I can bring it back to life. And you'll see that the new leaves on top, nice and firm. I'm going to spin that around here. Yeah. If the new growth on any houseplant is nice and healthy, don't worry about the old leaves, because it's the new ones you want to care about. The new ones are indicating the health of the plant. In this case, the plant is doing just fine. Don't worry about all the ugly stuff, because it's going to be beautiful in a little while. Do
you have to cut out any of the ugly stuff, or just let it stay there and let the new stuff bloom?
100% up to you. If you can't handle looking at the ugly stuff, cut it out. It's just like bad hair, right? Let's talk about this little lucky bamboo, because this one was so popular for so long. Everybody loved the lucky bamboo. And as you can see, one stalk has died and one stalk is living. Lucky bamboo doesn't like chlorinated water. Oh. Yeah, so if you're watering it from the tap, the more water you give it, the more you're killing it off. Okay, so with lucky bamboo, what I like to do is I like to actually cut off these shoots. So we're just going to cut them off just like that. And you're going to stick your shoots in a little glass of water. Okay. These shoots are actually going to send up new roots. So they're going to start growing again.
What kind of water did you use?
Unchlorinated.
Unchlorinated water. Just checking.
So if you leave your water in the pot or in a flower can overnight, the chlorine comes out of it. So you can just leave it sitting on the kitchen sink and remind yourself the next day. So you're going to leave them in the water just like that. They're going to send up roots in about 2 months. And you can plant those and off you go again. This can just get thrown away. Okay. Another one that everybody was asking about, poinsettia.
Yes.
Now, all right, I love the audience just grown.
Sad.
Okay.
So
there is a point in time at which you just have to say goodbye.
You got to let it go.
Now, this owner said, but there's little shoots growing out of the stalks. And they're right. There are little tiny shoots growing out of this plant.
That's true.
So here's the deal. You can keep this plant. You can keep it in your house, and you can try and grow those little tiny shoots, and off you go, and you're going to have a lovely green house plant. It will never give you the beautiful red flowers again.
Okay.
It's just not enough sunlight in our conditions in our homes to do that. So yes, you can save this plant, or you can do a good thing and compost it for the next generation. Okay. So
fair enough.
We're in agreement that this one can go.
It's good to know when to give up.
Yes.
All right. You can't save everything.
One big one here.
That's a really nice plant there. What kind of plant is that? This is a very popular one, and everybody has had this because it's such an easy one to grow. It's called umbrella plant, octopus plant, chaflora, all kinds of things. As you can see, it's starting to lose leaves here, and I'm going to show you that one right there. It's starting to lose leaves. This was outside all summer, started to rot. You can tell by rot by scraping the bark. If the bark is mushy, it's time to go. So literally this plant, you're going to cut out everything that's dead, even up here. This has a little bit green on top, it's rotten in the bottom. But the green part, cut off, You're gonna stick that in the water with your lucky bamboo, and it's gonna root, and you're gonna get a whole new plant.
So as soon as that roots, then you repot it, you replant it in here?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can do a new pot. This is an example of a pothos. We'll get really quick.
Oh, I killed one of those.
I cut all the shoots off, I stuck it in water, and look what we got.
Okay.
Roots. It's ready to be repotted. You're good to go.
Oh, that's amazing.
So it doesn't have to be the end of the life for the plant.
Hey, come on in here. What a magical doctor. So you're all about cheese and chocolate, but he's all about saving our plants. Isn't that kind of nice?
It is kind of nice because Carson helped me with plants this past summer.
Did he?
And he asked me today, like, how did that go? I'm like, went well for a month.
Until I left the building and that was bad news.
You really have to stay on top of it, and I think that's the situation, right? You have to get in there and you have to make sure that if you're doing things right, you have to continue to repeat the right things.
And read the signs.
And read the signs. Thanks, guys.